This podcast was produced by Shaun Weston Media.
The intro is from a dimly lit cupboard somewhere in England, and now I'm going to place this sour kitten, Mama. Two people chat about communications. Sometimes they chat about other things. Welcome to From the Comms Cupboard.
Is it sour?
Yeah, it is quite sour.
God, I didn't think they were.
Is it supposed to be watermelon?
Yeah.
Oh, God, blimey. I've never known a sour watermelon like this before. Smelling the smooth and clean and water fresh. It's quite nice, though. The flavour's quite good. Yeah.
Well, I gave you that as an acknowledgement for a job well done on a podcast.
Well, thank you very much. Do you know, it feels lovely to be acknowledged for the work that I do. The work that we do. I think we do very good work.
We are public broadcasters.
Public broadcasters. So, acknowledgement. Acknowledging people. Such a nice thing to do, you know. We've come off the back. A few weeks ago was obviously Mental Health Awareness Week.
Yep.
And I believe...
In the UK, I believe.
In the UK. Right, I thought it was a global one.
I think it was
just
the UK.
And it was about the theme was kindness.
Yeah, be kind.
I think that can apply everywhere, but in particular at work.
Yeah, really important at work, isn't it?
Really, really important. It's one of the things that I think I'm going to hold my hand up here and admit that I can be a little needy at work. And in all the years that I've worked in an office, thank God I don't do that anymore. But in all those years, I worked so hard. I was actually one of those people that I had personal integrity, the professional integrity. I'm going to do the best I can possibly do. But I also had a needy side to my.
Yeah, you like to get a bit of thanks.
I need all I want, and you know,
just
it only
a pat
has
on the
to be
back.
small. Just a little pat on the back, Shaun. Great job you did there. That would have kept me going for the next 6 weeks.
6 months.
6 months. Maybe not that long. I might have needed another hit.
I needed a hug.
I might have needed a hug. The sad thing is, I hardly ever got that. And I could see it in other people. Really hard-working people. Not getting that acknowledgement. I would find myself going over to those people and saying, you know what, you did a great job on that. Don't care what anyone else says, you nailed it. And I would do that myself, but I think it's someone else's job. As well as your colleagues, it's someone else's job.
It's everybody's job, isn't it?
But isn't it particularly from the people who are
at the top
managing you?
Yeah, I think it is. Recognition by leaders. There's a big part of engagement and people feeling wanted in their job, isn't it? If you're not communicating that, or that excuse that it's not really how I am, how I do things, then I think you need to change, don't you?
Yeah. But happiness comes into it too.
Especially, I mean, now more than ever, people are working really hard to get organisations back on the road. You know, back in business.
Back for good. I was watching Take That on YouTube. Sorry, I may pepper the rest of this conversation with a few more Take That titles.
Oh.
I'm not so sure, but I'll try.
Okay. Best get the Take That bingo card out.
Well, it only takes a minute. So I was looking at this happiness study. It's the 2020 happiness study. And it found that wealth is not what matters to most people. Social support and freedom were the top two. Social support and freedom. And trust was number 3.
Wow.
And I think this means we should focus on what's really important in our work lives, which, if you translate those things as care and communication. Now, communication is what we talk about all the time here.
It's the point of the podcast.
It's the point of the podcast. And I do think there is a duty of people who communicate well at work, in your workplace, to care
about
for others.
Yeah.
Care for others. But let them know. I don't think, do you know, I have always known you've worked hard, Don't tell them that at their retirement party. Tell them every single week.
Yeah, that would be really lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah, wouldn't it be
People
lovely?
take a little bit more time to thank people, and not just generically, oh, thank you to everybody, but thank you to that person specifically because they've done a good job.
Yeah. Isn't it like the old joke where the ghost is looking over his own funeral, and he says, "I didn't think anyone cared."
Mm.
And everyone came out with all these eulogies at the funeral, but by the time you're dead, it's too late.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Say them when you're alive. Say them every week at work.
Mm.
Yeah. You can tell I'm quite passionate about
You are quite passionate about this. I think it'd be really interesting to do an experiment, wouldn't it, with a workplace and just start randomly thanking people all over the place, which I think I probably do already, but absolutely going out of your way to be super visibly thankful.
A bit like small acts of kindness, like when Oprah Winfrey paid for the person behind her in the supermarket.
Yeah, like a pass it on.
Yeah,
I think
pass it on. Pass it forward.
Pay it forward.
Pay it forward.
Absolutely. So you be nice to 5 people that you work with. Maybe they'll be nice to 5 people that they work with. Soon, everyone's nice to everyone.
Yeah. And then you never know who might rule the world.
Absolutely. I think as well, I do encourage other people to thank people. Isn't that a nice way to do a leadership blog? Say, I really want to thank these 5 people who have done this great job this week. Why don't you comment below with 5 people you think have done a great job this week?
Fantastic idea. Now, I, as you know, I make podcasts. I produce podcasts.
You do?
And I produce internal communications podcasts.
Yep.
That is a great idea. Because often we talk, you fill that content with important business stuff and what people are doing in but thanking and acknowledging people you may never have heard of on that podcast from that leader. What a great piece of communication.
I finish every podcast, in this case, with the 5 people to thank, or the 10 people I'm going to thank this week for doing a great job.
Yep.
And encourage other people to then be more vocal about who they tell that leader has done a good job that week, because it's always really nice if your team's the one that gets the mention as well.
Yeah.
So there'll be this sort of potential competitiveness among the middle managers who want to have people highlighted. They don't want to be the only one without a team member who's thanked.
Oh no. I think a part of the freedom thing, that people want the happiness study. They want a sense of freedom. Now, to me, that's acknowledging people as well. It's acknowledging that I trust that person. I know it sounds counterproductive, but I trust that person to get on with their job. I trust my leader to give me clarity about why I'm doing this. Why am I coming to work at 9 o'clock? Oh, this is the reason why, because my boss told me this is the reason. The people want that freedom, trust, but the combination of them all. I also think they want honesty. So I think you can tell when someone pats you on the back, but they really didn't mean it.
Yeah.
They're just doing it because...
In Management 101, it's one of the tick boxes. And I guess when I was sort of saying, am I defeating the object of this by having something that happens every month or every week, with the podcast and someone thanking them? I think it really has to be quite personal, doesn't it? They can't just read a list of 5 names and say thank you, because they really need to understand why they're thanking somebody.
It could come across as disingenuous.
Yeah. So we want that. We want a bit of passion with our thanks.
Yeah.
Or alternatively, just a little pat on the back.
Yeah.
Well done now and then. Maybe a nice coffee.
Yeah. Say, thank you to everybody. You're all losing your job, but it's the weekend.
Yeah. I'd always end on a positive.